Now you can hear me. All right, let's get the music off. Thank you for the folks who have already logged on. It is your girl, Ayana, aka the Crafty Notary, back finally with day number 7 of the book club. Can everybody hear me? Let's do a sound check. Can everybody hear me? All right. Hey, Reggie. All right. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I think you guys can. Otherwise, it would have been like, I can't hear you. Okay. We'll just keep going. I don't know. I'm hoping you can hear me. Let me mute this one. Okay. All right. So, um, welcome back to day 7. We have been gone for 2 weeks. So, the first week was the week of the hurricane. So, the hurricane was supposedly going to hit my area or the Tampa area on Wednesday. So, out of precaution, I decided not to um, do the book club. Everyone was preparing. It was a kind of a stressful time. Thankfully, the Tampa area got spared. However, the southern areas did not do so well. And shout out to them or any of you that are out there watching that suffered damage or have family members or friends who suffered damage down in Southwest Florida. Um, and then last week, um, your girl was not feeling very well last week, I believe. I think that was the case. Not sure. Wasn't feeling it. That's what it was. I had a whole week where I was just not feeling anything. And then yesterday, I had every intention on logging on and doing a signing, doing this live. And I had a run signing. I actually had two. I had one at 5 that did not go because the guy did not have internet service where he lived. He tried driving to Walmart and then he needed to go to Starbucks. And I'm like, I got another signing. And so my signing at 6 did not go very well. It did get finished, but it did not go very well. It took us 2 hours to get all of the signers. There were 3 signers online, and it took us damn near 2 hours to get that signing done. Nonetheless, it got done. So I'm grateful for that. I'm happy that it did get done. And so I said, I will do book club on Thursday, come hook or crook, because I know that we need to get on. This is a big book. So I want to get through this book and move on maybe to another book or onto something else in general. So let's don't start, Reggie. Don't start. So we left off on chapter 9, and let me get my book camera life together over here. Let's take this off. All right. And so we left off on chapter 9. Before we jump into the book, I just want to say thank you and shout out to all the subscribers out there. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you become a part of my community as a notary, or if you're aspiring to be a notary. My channel is all about teaching you what to do as a notary, how to build your business, how to get more business, all of the things. Okay. That is what my channel is about. I answer each and every question. So if you leave a comment below, I will respond to your comment. If you need to schedule a coaching session, or if you have just a general question, you can reach out to me via Facebook DM or here on YouTube by the comments. and I definitely will respond to that as well. The only platform that I'm not really responding from as much is Instagram right now, just because I'm not over there as much. So, if you need to get in touch with me, do it on Facebook, or you can leave a message on my website. And my website is ayanalugo.com. Um, I will. Do I have it? Nope. I don't have it there. Oh yeah, I do. Hold on. Do. Here we go. Save. Boom. There it is. That's my website right there. ayanalugo.com. If you are interested in looking for notary resources, looking for coaching, any classes that I do, all of that stuff is going to be there. All right. All right. So let's get into this book. Boom. There's the book. And we're going to go full screen on. To my picture. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you comment below if you can hear me? I hope you guys can. Nobody's responding, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. Okay, yes. Answer is yes. Reggie, it's you. Let's go back. Can you hear me, Reggie? Can you hear me? I don't know if it's YouTube. Maybe try refreshing your screen. Like refreshing. Do I need to refresh? I don't know. Okay. Folks are saying. Hold on, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's like it's the sounds going in and out, and I don't understand why. I'm going to refresh my screen. So everybody stay put. I'm going to hit refresh. Ooh, I don't think that's going to work for me. It's like you can hear and then you can't hear. I don't understand. Okay, you can hear now. Let me just unmute. Let me just check the settings on the camera. I mean, the audio. It's on the Yeti and it's tested. It's working. Automatically adjust. Let's take that off. Mic volume. Yeah, I don't think I can refresh my screen. I think it's going to bump me off of the broadcast if I refresh my screen. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? I don't know why it's going in and out today. It's like it's like nothing wants to cooperate. Let me try to refresh. I think it's going to knock the broadcast off though. I think it is. Uh hmm. Can everybody hear me? Oh, she says now I can. Oh, okay, hold on. I see what you're saying. Okay. Nope. No, there's an echo. Can you hear me now or no? I'm doing this the same way. Okay, you can. Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. This is frustrating today as well. We'll get through it. All right. So, where was I? Oh, so I was saying that that's why it's important to do the oath and affirmation part, because if in the future they did not tell the truth and the judge goes to say, did you put them under oath? And the answer is no, then they may get off or avoid some prosecution. So the next paragraph says, oaths and affirmations may be administered as part of a notary act, such as with the jurat. They may be administered in conjunction with performing a notarization, such as when swearing in a credible identifying witness. I'm going to do something. Hold on. Let me do it like this. Hold on. Nope. 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 Hold on. I want to do it. Okay. I wanted to do it where, hold on. I'm trying to do it to where, there we go. Maybe like this so that you can still hear me. Let me take the Crafty Notary overlay off. So that way maybe you can hear me if my picture stays up there. Does that work better? I think it does. All right. We're going to roll with it. All right. So, where was I? I want to one more thing. Hold on. I want to wipe this camera. I can't find anything. Hold on. I'm going to wipe it with my shirt. All right. I want to wipe the camera because it seems blurry to me. I don't know if that helps. Get your live camera. iPhone 14. All right. That's the iPhone 14 for you. I think honestly it's the internet. Okay. Anywho, let's keep going. So, I'm going to read that again. Oaths and affirmations may be administered as part of a notary act, such as with the jurat, and they may be administered in conjunction with performing a notarization, such as when swearing in a credible identifying witness, or they may stand on their own as a notary act. Okay. An oath of office, for example, is a full-fledged act in its own right when administered by a notary, even when there is no document or certificate. Most often, notaries will administer oaths and affirmations as part of the execution of a jurat or when swearing in a credible identifying witness. All right? So, yes, you have to swear in a credible identifying witness. So, it is important to use proper terminology relating to oaths and affirmations. A notary administers or gives an oath or affirmation to a person who takes the oath or affirmation. So, the notary is giving it, the person is taking it, the signer is taking it. Or the person may swear to or affirm, respectively, an oath or affirmation. In this context, swear means to promise under oath. Affirm means to promise under affirmation. All right. The person who takes an oath is called the oath taker. And the person taking the affirmation is called either an affirmation taker or an affirmant. A notary can be said to swear in oath and or affirmation takers, and an oral or written declaration taken under oath or affirmation can be described as sworn or sworn to. So, regardless to whether the person does an oath or an affirmation, both acts result in either being sworn or sworn to. Okay? All right. Are you asking a question, Carlos? I don't understand that. All right. So there's two requirements. The main function of oaths and affirmations is to compel an individual to tell the truth. This is done by appealing to the oath taker's or affirmant's conscience and fear of criminal penalties for perjury or untruthfulness. When an oath or affirmation is taken, a legal process is begun that could result in criminal punishment if the oath taker or affirmant is later found to have lied. When administering an oath or affirmation, the notary must require two actions. What are the two actions? Number one, personal appearance. And of course, that would be very notary-like because personal appearance is required for all notarizations. Number two, they have to take the oath or affirmation. So what I mean is when we are doing jurats out in these streets, if we are not giving the oath or affirmation, if the signer is not taking the oath or affirmation, then we are not administering the jurat properly. And I'm sure we'll find that out when we get to that section. All right. So there is an NNA recommendation. It says cautious notaries will take the additional step to positively identify each oath or affirmation taker just as they would the signer. This is a legal requirement in Florida, so we can skip that section because we have to identify all of our signers, whether they're taking an oath or whether they're taking or whether we're doing an acknowledgement. All right. So personal appearance. To take an oath, the person must appear in person before the oath giving officer, who is the notary. This personal appearance must be at the time the oath and affirmation is spoken aloud. The oath taker or affirmant must be face to face with the notary. Oaths and affirmations cannot be given over the phone, from another room, through the mail, or through a third person. So I just answered a very important question that I just had. All right. Oath takers or affirmants must formally state aloud his or her promise of truthfulness. It is not acceptable for the oath or affirmation to be taken silently or administered unless a written statement is signed in lieu of making oral decisions. So it has to be aloud, cannot be silent, and unless there's a written statement. All right. And then, even though the notary is not generally required to positively identify the oath taker or affirmant, the prudent notary will take this additional step. Doing so indicates a high standard of reasonable care and helps ensure that an imposter is not taking an oath or affirmation for another. Again, in the state of Florida, we ID everybody, whether they're doing an oath, whether they're doing a jurat or an acknowledgement. So, they can be identified through either our personal knowledge, credible identifying witness, or state approved identification document. All right. And we already talked about that in chapter 4. So, okay, Reggie. Okay. Oh, I got you. All right. So, no representative oaths or affirmations. So, a person may not take an oath or affirmation in a representative capacity for another person or entity, such as a corporation. So if someone else is representing someone else, they cannot take the oath for that person. An oath or affirmation is a personal commitment of conscience that individuals can only make for themselves. So while attorney in facts, trustees, corporate officers, and other representatives may take an oath or affirmation to confirm their representative status, they cannot take it on behalf of another individual or entity. All right, that makes complete sense. All right, so to administer an oath or affirmation, the notary usually first makes an oral statement, and the oral taker or affirmant then indicates his or her agreement by repeating the statement or saying the words "I do" or "I will." A person incapable of speaking could indicate compliance in other ways, like a nod or a written note. So if someone was, I guess, incapable of speaking, so they could hear that they could do that. There are occasions when the oath and affirmation might appropriately be said aloud in its entirety by the oath and affirmation, oath taker or affirmant. This might be the case with an oath of office. In these situations, the notary may read the oath or affirmation one phrase at a time, with the oath taker or affirmant repeating each phrase, or the oath taker or affirmant may read the oath or affirmation. All right. Now, wording. State laws and regulations or customs do not always prescribe exact wording for a particular oath or affirmation. An oath or affirmation taker may or may not furnish the notary with necessary wording. If there is no wording provided in a given instance, the following examples may be acceptable. All right. So, for Girat, do you solemnly swear that the statements in this document are true, so help you God? Or do you solemnly affirm that the statements in this document are true? When I do my signings, I use a combination of both. So I say, do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the statements made in this document are true to the best of your knowledge and belief? That's what I say. And then they can answer either I swear or I affirm. So for a credible identifying witness, do you solemnly swear that you know the signer? Yeah, I think it's the internet, Reggie. I think that's what's going on. I think it's the internet because I think that's why the words are kind of blurry. I think it's the internet. So we'll get through it and hopefully, so if you miss some, we can hopefully the video will be okay for the replay. All right. So, and then affirmation is, do you solemnly affirm or affirm that you know the signer truly holds the identity he or she claims? All right. And then the oath or affirmation for a witness statement. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the information you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. That's like in a court situation. And affirmation, do you solemnly affirm that the information you're about to give or have given is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And then for taking office, I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of blank, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of during the term for which I have been elected or appointed, so help me God. So that's the oath or affirmation that you would give if someone is taking office. And someone could definitely call you up and say, we need you to perform an oath for someone. You never know. So always be ready. All right. Note that the three preceding oaths refer to a supreme being, both directly with the phrase, so help you God, and indirectly by the use of term swear. The affirmations do not refer to a supreme being since there is no mention of the term God. Okay. Now, ceremonies and gestures. To impress upon the oath taker or affirmant the importance of truthfulness. To impress upon them the importance of truthfulness, the notary is encouraged to lend a sense of ceremony and formality to the oath or affirmation. During the administration of the oath or affirmation, the notary and oath taker or affirmant traditionally raise their right hand, palms forward like this, though it is not a legal requirement in most states. Notaries generally have discretion to use the ceremony and gestures they feel will most compellingly appeal to the conscience of the oath taker and affirmant. In administering oaths, the notary may ask the oath taker to place one hand on a Bible or appropriate religious text with the other hand raised in a pledging gesture like this. Although religious element is not included, an affirmation may still involve some ceremony. Raising one's right hand or placing it over the heart are traditional gestures adaptable to either oath or affirmation. I personally have people raise their right hand, and the reason why I have them raise their right hand is not only for the formality and the ceremony of it, but so that they remember that I gave them the oath. So no one can ever say, I don't remember that, because most people are usually thrown off when I say raise your right hand. So they will remember it. All right. To further underline the seriousness of taking an oath, the notary may also wish to tell an oath taker or affirmant that perjury is a serious criminal offense, and I do include that in my statement. All right. The certificate. When the oath and affirmation is not associated with another notary act, such as with a jurat or swearing in a credible identifying witness, there is generally no document or certificate involved. Oath and affirmations as notary acts in their own right do not require certificates because they are simply oral statements. So if someone called you to swear someone in, you do not need a certificate for that. An oath and affirmation is a notary act within itself. All right. And then your journal entry. There should always be a journal entry in the record to record an oath or affirmation given as an act by itself. So if you do it by itself, it should be recorded. The entry should include the date and time the oath and affirmation was administered, the type of oath and affirmation, such as mayor's oath of office, the name and address of the oath taker or affirmant, how the individual was identified, the fee charged, the signature. The illustration below shows the typical journal entry for the office. Now, who can give oaths and affirmations? So besides a notary, there are certain other officials, including some federal, state, county, and city employees, electees, and appointees, also may administer oaths and affirmations due to the powers of their office. And then below, you will see the journal entry example if you just gave the oath without any other document. So this would be how you would write it in. And you just say oath provided by Miss Williams. Her name was Donna Williams. And so you can write it in there. All right. So now let me get a drink of water first. Okay. So jurats or verification upon oath or affirmation are closely associated with oaths and affirmations. Girat is Latin for he or she swears and certifies that a written statement has been sworn to or affirmed. In simplistic terms, a jurat is used when a promise of truth or loyalty appears as a written statement. Like the acknowledgement, the jurat is a very common notary act. In fact, these acknowledgments and jurats are the two most common. But a jurat has a very different purpose from an acknowledgement. And as the previous chapter outlined, an acknowledgement serves to certify the signer's identity and willingness to sign a particular document. A jurat, on the other hand, certifies that the signer has sworn to or affirmed the truthfulness of the statements in the signed document. This is why the jurat is also known as verification upon oath or affirmation in some states. Notaries usually execute on documents such as affidavits or depositions that may be submitted as evidence in trials or other official proceedings, as well as on other forms of written verification requiring an oath or affirmation. A deposition is a signed transcript of an individual's oral statements taken down for use of judicial proceeding. An affidavit is a signed statement made under oath or affirmation and is used for a variety of purposes both in and out of court. Verification is a declaration that a statement or pleading is true. All right. So, 3 facts are certified. As with oath and affirmations, a jurat's primary function is to compel the document signer to be truthful by appealing to the signer's conscience as well as the individual's fear of criminal penalties for perjury. Like oath and affirmations, the jurat initiates a legal process that could eventually result in criminal arrest, conviction, and punishment if the signer is later found to have lied. You know what? Let me put that on mute. All right. So, a jurat, executing a jurat, the notary is certifying 3 things: personal appearance, which is always there, witnessing of the signature, we watch them sign, and administration of the oath. All 3 of those need to be done in order for this to be a valid jurat. Okay? Let me see. All right. All right. So personal appearance. We talked about that before. The person has to appear before you on the date and the location that's going to be on the certificate. So it says to achieve appearance, the signer must be face to face with the notary. A phone call, voice from another room, recognizing a familiar signature, a written note from an absent signer, or the word of a third person is not sufficient, will not suffice. Witnessing the signature. So in executing a jurat, the notary witnesses the signing of the document. So this means the notary must actually see the signer write his or her signature on the document. If it has already been signed, the signer must sign it again. So if they've already signed it, you need to line through it, have them initial it, and then they need to sign again. This requirement represents a significant difference from the acknowledgement, which allows the document to be previously signed out of the presence of the notary. It also reinforces the requirement for personal appearance because witnessing the signature would be impossible without the signer appearing before the notary. And so, to accomplish the purpose of a jurat, compelling truthfulness, the notary must administer the oath and affirmation to the document signer. All right. So, then it also talks about identifying the signer, which we already know that part. So, we'll keep going. And we already talked about no representative jurats. So, a jurat the oath cannot be taken for another person or on behalf of another person. All right. And so now the certificate for a jurat, the Girat Certificate. So the notary must complete a certificate that is either contained within or attached to the signed document. The jurat wording is simpler than the wording for an acknowledgement discussed in the previous chapter. The jurat describes 3 facts that the Notary Act certifies: personal appearance, witnessing the signature, and taking the oath. So this is an example of the actual certificate. All right. And the words before me indicate that the document signer appeared before the notary. Subscribed means that the document was signed before the notary. And sworn to or affirm specifies the signer took an oath or affirmation administered by the notary. So let's read this here because I was just going to talk about that. The term jurat is frequently misused. Many persons mistakenly refer to all notary certificates, even acknowledgments as jurats. When a signer asks that a notary attach a jurat to the document, the notary should, and it froze, the notary should question the person to determine what is really meant. I think I know what's freezing. Hold on one second, guys. Let me put my phone on do not disturb. Hold on. Okay. Put my phone on do not disturb there. I still feel like I need to wipe this screen. Hold the phone. I got something over here. Eat, 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 eat. All right. Because I have like a plastic thing on the back of my camera. So I'm wondering if it's what's blurry. Or is it just the internet? Or is it the light? Hold on. Could be the light. Aha. Could be the light. Yeah, I think it's the light. I don't know. Seems blurry, like right in here. Right here. I don't know. Maybe it's not up high enough. Let's see. I'm being nitpicky, guys. Hold on. Trying to get the camera to focus. I think that's better. Oops. Hello. Hello, whoever you are. I can't see your name, but hello. All right. I think that's better. Okay. All right. So the notary should question a person to determine what is really meant. So if someone just comes to you and say, attach a jurat, you want to make sure they understand what they actually want. You need to ask, are they looking to take an oath or an affirmation? Are they looking to swear that the contents are true and correct? Because they may not know what they mean by just saying jurat. And I will probably question it anyway, because most folks don't know what a jurat is. All right, so the actual wording of Girat certificates can vary considerably from one document to the next and from one state to another. For affidavits, the Girat certificate will be divided into two parts, with the venue appearing at the beginning and the Girat wording or statement of particulars, plus the signature and the seal, at the end. And the document's text or affiant signature are in between. All right. The signer of an affidavit is called the affiant. Okay. The following example of an affidavit shows how the Girat certificate sandwiches the affiant's statement. So here is the venue, statement of particulars here, and then the signature, and then there's swearing, and then the notary situation. This is the notary certificate portion. So, yeah, it's kind of sandwiched in there. So you would write the name of the signer, being sworn or affirmed before me, his or her knowledge and belief, and then whatever else it says. And then the signer will sign again, and then you will complete that portion too. So this whole thing is the notarial certificate. It's just a different kind. All right. So, as in the above example, the affiant statement is often preceded by an introduction statement by the notary. And the notary completes this introductory statement by filling in the name of the document signer and by selecting the correct terms, sworn or affirmed. So, using an imaginary situation as an example, we will now put all the steps together for executing a jurat. The situation. Karen P. Dutton appears before notary Dorothy L. McGuire in Suffolk County, New York on September 15th, 2022 at 11 a.m. to swear to and have her signature notarized on an affidavit of loss that will be submitted to her insurance company. Miss Dutton, a longtime close friend of Miss McGuire, signed the affidavit the previous day. The affidavit contains pre-printed jurat wording. All right. Step 1, personal appearance. Hold on. Says my computer, don't go to sleep. No, sir. Miss Dutton appears in person before the notary, Miss McGuire, to request the notarial act, so personal appearance has been established. Step 2. The pre-printed jurat wording on the affidavit indicates to the notary that a jurat is required. Step 3. Although identification is not expressly required by law for a jurat in New York, Miss McGuire is a careful notary and chooses to identify all document signers. Since Miss Dutton is personally known to the notary, the process of identification is simplified. If the notary did not personally know Miss Dutton, identification documents or credible identifying witnesses could serve the purpose of identifying her. Step 4. Witnessing of the signature. Next, the notary asks Miss Dutton to re-sign the document. Even though the document is already signed and the notary easily recognizes her signature, the signature as that of her close friend, it must be signed again in her presence. So the making of the signature can be officially witnessed as required for a jurat. Step 5. The next step is for the notary to administer an oath or affirmation to Miss Dutton. Miss Dutton prefers to take an oath. The notary informs Miss Dutton that perjury is a serious criminal offense. Then the notary asks Miss Dutton to raise her right hand in a pledging manner and asks her, "Do you solemnly swear that the statements in this document are true, so help you God?" Miss Dutton replies, "I do." Step 6. Since the document was signed in the presence of the notary and Miss Dutton took an oath, both without apparent hesitation, willingness to sign has been reasonably established. Throughout the notarization, the notary has engaged Ms. Dutton in conversation, and since Ms. Dutton appears to communicate effectively, the notary considers her to be aware of what's going on. And in step 5, she makes the journal entry. And we'll just look at that here. So we got the time, we got it's a jurat, we got the address, the type of document, her name, Ms. Dutton's name. She personally knew her. She made notes that the document was re-signed in her presence. So you want to take those kinds of notes. $2, and then she signed, and then she has a thumbprint. Right? Right. And then the final part is completing the certificate. And so you see this sample certificate there, and then here is the completed certificate. Here's a completed one. And then she's got her stamp and everything else there. All right. And that is, my friends, oaths and affirmations. All right. We'll do the questions. I was going to forego them. But let's go ahead and do them. All right. Are we ready? Is everybody ready? I don't know. The camera keeps freezing. If I don't see the questions, then we'll just do these. We'll skip them. But let's see. The primary function, I'll let you know, Joanne, once we finish the questions. It's the how-to book. Hold on. Here it is right here. I'll scroll it for you. All right. So number 1, the primary function of jurats, oaths, and affirmation is to A, compel an individual to tell the truth. B, compel an individual to identify a signer. C, compel an individual to sign a document. Or D, compel the notary to be truthful. All right, lock in your answer in the comments, A, B, C, or D. Lock it in. Anyone? Anyone care to answer? All right. If I don't get any answers, I'm going to skip the questions. Any answers today? Is it working? I think there's a lag because I see Reggie says A over here. I got the live chat. Oh, there we go. Now they're coming through. There's like some kind of lag. You got to be. The answer is A. It's compel an individual to tell the truth. Number 2, an oath differs from an affirmation in that A, an oath is a spoken vow and an affirmation is unspoken. B, an oath refers to a supreme being and an affirmation does not. C, oath takers are subject to perjury penalties, affirmations are not, or affirmants are not. And D, an oath requires a ceremony and affirmation does not. So I'm just going to read down the answer so that it doesn't, I don't think my internet is acting properly. So the answer to number 2 is actually going to be B. An oath refers to a supreme being, an affirmation does not. Number 3, a jurat may not always certify that the document signer, A, personally appear before the notary, B, was given an oath or affirmation by the notary, or D, was positively identified by the notary. So a jurat may not always certify that this document signer either A, personally appeared, B, signed before the notary, C, gave an oath or affirmation, or D, was positively identified. And the answer to number 3 is D. And the answer to number 3 is D for every other state. Is D in general, according to this book, but in the state of Florida, you identify those that are coming for a jurat as well. So either one. So, but for the purposes of this book and generalities, D. All right, number 4, jurat refers to A, the phrase state of, county of. B, the phrase witness my hand and official seal. C, the phrase subscribe and sworn to before me. Or D, all notary certificates. So the answer to number 4 is C. It refers to the phrase subscribed and sworn before me. All right. If an affidavit has not been signed in the notary's presence, either A, it must be discarded, redrawn, and signed again. B, it must be signed in the notary's presence. C, it is acceptable since not signing before a notary is not required. Or D, the signature must be acknowledged. The answer on this number 5 is going to be A. It must be discarded, redrawn, and signed again. Yeah, see, your things are coming in way late, Reggie. So I'm just going to keep going. C, the parts of an affidavit most often occur in this sequence. Venue, affiant statement, jurat, notary, signature, and seal. Jurat, affiant statement, venue, notary. We know that's not right. Notary signature, seal and affiant statement, venue, jurat, and then affiant statement, venue, notary seal, notary signature, and seal, jurat. So the answer to that is A, because venue is always first. So that's a dead giveaway. Venue is always first. All right. Number 7, in executing a jurat, the oath the notary administers might be: do you swear that the statements in the document are true? Do you affirm that the statements in this document are true? Do you acknowledge before me that the statements in the document are true? And do you confirm before me that the statements in the document are true? So the answer to this number 7 is A. And this one was kind of a trick question. So you have to be looking at the wording. And the giveaway on this is the oath. So you might have thought that A or B could have been the answer, but it is an oath, not an affirmation. So that is to swear. Both a jurat and an acknowledgement require A, administration of an oath or affirmation; B, face-to-face communication by signer and notary; C, signing a document in notary's presence; or D, presence of a credible identifying witness. And the answer to number 8 will be B. Face-to-face communication must be is required for both a jurat and acknowledgement. And then finally, number 9, a notary is responsible for the truth of A, the affiant's written declaration in an affidavit; B, written questions for a deposition; C, the written venue in an affidavit; and D, all statements transcribed in a deposition. So I think the answer to that is A. I'm going to look that one up. Hold on. What was it? Number 9? Oh, the answer is C. The venue. Yeah, that's true. We are responsible for the venue in an affidavit. So yeah. So that is it. And so chapter 10 will be covering the copy certification. And I will definitely try my best to get this to be back on Wednesday. I might need to change the day to Thursday, because Thursdays just seem a little bit easier to get things done. But for now, we'll keep it at Wednesday. And if something should change, I will make a note of that then. For now, does anyone have any questions? Yeah. Oh, what? Thursday is a better day? Maybe I will move it to Thursday. It's not a big deal. I can move it to Thursday because Thursday probably is a better day for me too. So I can definitely move it to Thursday. So that's not a problem. So if there are no questions, I am going to not prolong the inevitable, because it seems like my internet does not want to work. Reggie has a question. What's your question, Reggie? What's your question? What is your question? See how it's just going so slow? I don't even see them. The comments. I'm not answering that. All right. Reggie does not have a question. Reggie, because Reggie has a YouTube channel. He's being funny again. So that is tonight. We're gonna let it go. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. The book is the How-To Guide for Notaries. This is the book for Joanne. This is the book. And you can get the book with the NNA, from the NNA. If you are a member of the NNA, you can also get a digital copy of the book for free. You can't download it, I don't believe, but you can get a digital copy. I wonder if I should do the digital copy. Hold on, let's try something. Let's try something. Let me see if I can log in and we look at the digital copy of the book. Give me 1 second. I never thought of this until just now. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to see something. And I'm trying to see my other screen over here. Florida is correct. Let's go to books. Where is it? Nope. You got to go to member exclusive discounts. I think that's where you go. No, that's not where you go. Hold on. So you go to My NNA, go to member benefits, and then the complete how-to guide for notaries. And then number 10 is, oh, this is going to work so much better. Watch this. Watch this. Usher. All right, watch this. Boom. I'm going to make that bigger like that. Boom, boom. Look at that. Holla at your girl. This is how we'll be doing the book next week, okay? Even though I still have the other copy there, this is how we'll be doing the book next week. I can get rid of that, and I can get rid of this, and we can just go like this on the book. I can make it bigger. There we go. So this is how we're doing the book next week. I just thought of that. This is how we're doing the book next week. So, boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's how we're doing it next week. So, that way, I don't have to worry about this light in this book. See that? Must be nice. Right, Reggie? There I go. Never even thought of that to just right now. And there's other books on here. So, the Notary Answer book is on here. Let me share my screen so you can see that. Not you. Get out of there. Hold on. Wait a minute. Go back. There it is. Here we go. So if you go to your member benefits in your My NNA, okay, so if you go to My NNA, go up here to your name, click on My NNA, and then look at all my information, and then member benefits, okay, and then the books are here, or they're right here. So you got the how-to guide here. You got the Notary Answer book. So this complete answers to your signer's everyday requests for improper notarizations. This book you can actually download. So maybe we'll go through this book. You got new law alerts. Let's see if that will come up. Yep. So there's some new laws. Looks like it's going on in all of these states. Some new laws. So you can stay up on laws. You can select your state, hit search, and then you can see whatever laws have come up for your state. So yeah, we'll do it that way the next time. And if you have the book, then you can definitely follow along online, but this will be a lot easier. So yep, be a lot easier. So we'll do it that way. I wonder, do they care if I do this book, like read the book on YouTube? I'm not sure. Interesting. All right, so that will be our video for today. If there are no further questions, I thank you so much again, like I said, for watching my video. Subscribe to my channel so that you can get updated content. Hit the bell, like this video. Please, please, please like this video so that it can be shown to more people. And until the next time, I will see you guys later. Okay. peace.